We're live.
You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rob.
And Jared's not here this week to throw that all off. But, yeah, we'll see what Andrew's been up to.
All right, check this out, guys. I know the listeners can't listen to it, but here is the Discord hoodie.
You could rub the fabric. And
I could rub the fabric
rub it on the
just a
mic.
little bit. I can describe it. White and black. It has a Discord logo as a badge on front, a zipper, and then on the back it says Partner Discord, and you can look it up online. But it is the hoodie here. It is awesome, and thank you to the community for that. So that's what
Thanks,
I've been doing.
guys, for letting
thank
you
you.
have the one hoodie that we get.
Yeah, I know. If I could spread the hoodie around, I could, but
Well,
I
I
think
live
it's
close
necessary.
enough. We'll try it. We'll see if we can both wear it at the same time.
we should share on weekend.
It'll be
Okay.
awkward, but I think we can make it happen.
I've been, for video game wise, I've been playing a lot of Switch. I've been playing an RPG called Battle Chasers Night War. I really like that. I really like it. I'm like 13 hours in. I'm really enjoying that.
Nice.
And I actually, since there's a little lull period for Destiny 2, I'm playing Warframe. I see nods from Rob. He's like, he's looking sideways and everything. But yeah, it's a looter shooter. We have a clan in there, and I want to help out. I dove into it, and I really enjoy it.
I want to go ahead and get the Destiny jab out of the way, but when is it not a lull period in Destiny? Besides when DLC comes out for that.
What have you been up to, Rob?
Not playing Destiny,
Oh,
so similar to you guys. It's been pretty crazy at work and everything. So I'm still looking for a game to really like sink my teeth into. So I've really just been playing, some of the things that I thought, I bought this. It's on my backlog. Let me give it a try. I think I'm realizing I'm just terrible at video games, which is a tough thing to have to admit. But I spent a couple hours in Dark Souls 3. And
That's also sitting on my backlog.
yeah, not going well. So it's probably going to go back to my backlog. I did a little Sea of Thieves, which is a good time getting back to that.
Oh.
Play a little Fortnite, a little PUBG.
How is that new content in Sea of Thieves? Did you do any of that?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Is it?
because,
Oh no.
not terrible as in like it's bad. It's just I wasn't expecting a megalodon shark to roll up next to
Oh,
my,
I see.
next to my ship and just completely destroy me. I thought it was okay. So it's Sea of Thieves is what it's always been. It's got a a lot of fun mechanics wrapped around a lot of griefing. So unfortunately, I don't see myself going back to that, and I don't know anyone else that plays. It seems like you really have to play as a group to really enjoy that. So, but yeah, that's pretty much been me. So how about you, Brandon?
I went and started playing the Donkey Kong Adventure on Mario and Rabbids, and
Very
I'll
cool.
I'll talk about it in a minute. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I haven't quite finished it yet. I was trying to before stream, but it didn't happen. And some WoW actually. I've been doing some WoW, and I finally got my Mage Tower appearance, so I'm super excited about that. That was a very jarring moment for me.
It's a completely solo adventure thing, right? You had to do it solo.
So if you don't know, it's at the time it was incredibly hard. It's probably really easy now, and it's really hard for me. But it's a solo thing where you go in and it's a skin for your artifact, and it's you have to do different things, a lot of crowd controlling in my case, and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's like really nerve wracking. Probably did the attempts at least 20 times before I finally got it.
Whoa.
But maybe like total over the course of the entirety of existence. But yeah, I was excited about that, and I'm glad because now when it goes away with the launch of the next expansion, I'll have it. So I'm one of those.
And that expansion's rolling up really soon. Really
It is.
soon.
Really soon, a month and some days, and that's it.
And it's funny because I keep watching these streamers, these beta, and I keep seeing crashes and the beta being bad. I hope they fix it. I really do. Before release.
I never experienced any crashes in my time in beta.
Maybe it's the streamers I'm watching, but
Maybe.
it was constantly crashing for them.
maybe. But yeah, that's.
News.
But Nintendo, I think it was they were talking to the investors and such, but they came out and said they still have some unannounced games that are going to release this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I personally don't think they're going to be big named games because we would have probably already seen something for them to build hype.
Well, they still got Gamescom coming up, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's in October.
So maybe they were holding off for that. Maybe for like a little more.
Usually, Gamescoms is like next year, since it's in October. Yeah,
that could be. I mean, it's the holiday season coming up. Yeah, Nintendo's getting absolutely blasted on their stock price right now. So,
oh really?
They've got because their their E3 showing was kind of and sales of the Switch hardware, nothing to write home about. I mean, they don't make a ton of money off of each one, and I would say their library is definitely good. It's got some of like the best games probably ever made. I think we'll eventually come to that conclusion, but on the horizon, not a whole lot.
Yeah, so maybe they do have something in their sleeve they'll drop on us and be pleasantly surprised about. I don't think Nintendo has to worry too much about money issues.
No, I mean Fortnite was a big one to drop on people. I figured that would be.
I mean, why can't it be a large title? Like why?
I mean, I'm not saying it can't be, but normally you would normally see a
like what's big enough?
F-Zero X would be fun.
No,
an Animal Crossing game I think would be pretty.
Animal Crossing would be a lot of fun. Yeah,
I could see Animal Crossing.
Another Mario sports game like a Mario Golf or
please golf. Like I would buy that.
That's one story. That's one I didn't tell you guys I was playing was Golf Story on the Switch.
Oh, that's great. I love
that's a fantastic game.
It's really it's funny.
I put a couple hours into that on Sunday.
I'm sure we'll see a lot of ports. I don't know whether big franchise they could just drop out of nowhere.
I don't know. Metroid Prime.
I mean, they already talked about that, but
that was later. You're right.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Donkey Kong game, but we just had the Tropical Freeze re-release on it.
We will see.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's something big and we just don't know about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough.
Fallout 76 on the Switch.
They can if they put Wolfenstein 2 on there, they can put anything on there.
Yeah, this is true.
That just released too.
Yeah. Just released.
I read a little story on how they actually made it work. Like, it doesn't work usually. Like, it has like terrible slowdown and like really low FPS and everything. So they had to put like walls so that you couldn't like see really far into the distance in a lot of places.
Oh, all right.
The game overall is the same game as you'd play on any of the other ones, but where you might like look over and see like a huge like cityscape, like there's a wall. But hey, that means you can play it on the go.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it takes. It's cool to see these titles on the Switch. Switch is it's a great platform, I think.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and Rob was just talking about Sea of Thieves. Rare came out and said they're planning on doing 3 more unannounced content expansions for this year.
Wow.
Following the last one they talked about, which is Forsaken Shore, which comes out in September, which would be the 3rd content patch. So by the end of this year, they're are hoping to have 6 content patches into Sea of Thieves.
They got a lot of variety in there. I think no matter how much they put out in terms of content, I think they need to be able to give people like an area that they can just go and play and not be griefed. Otherwise, it's never gonna change.
I would even try that if they had something like that. I would try it.
Because some of the new skeletons are pretty awesome. Like there's one that shows up with a explosive barrel, and it'll climb up right next to you and then start running at you and then explodes. It's new for the update. And yeah, I had no idea those things existed. And there I was trying to hunt down some skeleton pirates, and he shows up out of nowhere and blows up right next to me.
I bet that's quite jarring.
Reminds me of Mysterious Sam days.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I like Serious Sam.
I can call these next 2 expansions after this one. It's Halloween and Christmas. Some events for that, but it's not going to be like huge. I think it's just going to be just holiday events.
Could be.
Could be.
Same thing with Destiny. They say, hey, we have events coming up, but it's like we have doubles for Valentine's Day, and it's not really a big thing, you know?
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, the stuff they added now isn't too major, but it's more content, which is good. At least they're showing support for a game. But I like you guys are saying, I think there definitely needs to be some good, solid content I can do solo to get interest drummed up in the game.
So basically, infrastructure changes, not just added on content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I can go with that. Good stuff. Speaking of things that need some infrastructure changes, or went over some big infrastructure. The Battlefront roadmap was revealed either earlier this week or late last week. But it showed off when they released the heroes and maps and modes I talked about at E3, and people aren't quite too happy about it because basically they're dragging out the entirety of what they talked about at E3 over the course of the rest of the year. So I think we'll get like 2 heroes in like maybe next month or something, and then we don't get the last 2 until winter, whatever they consider to be quote unquote winter, and they're just like dragging it out. It looks like there's like no support for this game. There's only maybe a handful of people still working on it, which is probably why it's taking so long to get this content out.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah,
it makes sense, and it's no surprise to me. But it kind of goes against what they were kind of saying at E3. But
they spent millions of dollars to put people on stage and have that time block, right? Just to be disappointed after the show that it's going to be prolonged. That's really weird.
Yeah, so I don't see this game getting much support past this year.
Unfortunate. So, I mean, I still want to actually play the single player, which I hear is pretty good.
The single player, it's a good story. I'll give it that. It's a good story.
Do you get to play as like your favorite characters from the Star Wars movies?
You get to play as one character, your favorite character, for a couple minutes.
There you go. Hey.
You get to play as, what's her name, Iden Versio?
Yeah, I mean it's a cool new story with a new character. I like to see new characters and stuff in the Star Wars universe, but it's nothing to write home about for sure.
No, not at all. It was a bad decision on so many ways, and it's hard to believe that they keep putting this stuff out year after year to such outrage, and they learn like nothing from it.
This is the first Battlefront came out in 2015. This one came out 2 years later. But EA's job with the Star Wars license is so disappointing. There's been 2 games come out under them in the past since 2012 was when EA got the license, and it's 2018 now. If you can't do the math, that's surprising for just 2 games.
Yeah. And if you really want to play a great Battlefront game, you can play Star Wars Battlefront 2. It was released in 2005. Yeah. It's still playable
in Steam.
And it's probably the best one. Yeah,
it is definitely a much better game. Maybe not great looking, but it plays a lot better.
Definitely fun.
Yeah, really fun. I'm sure there's still a player base around that. Speaking of things with a good player base, Overwatch is releasing a new hero. And this one is kind of surprising. It's a hamster and a hamster ball of death with machine guns and all that craziness.
Him and the hamster.
Yeah. Which I think I was reading somewhere. It's like a tribute to Top Gear or something. One of the Top Gear guys that passed away. I'm 100% on that. But
interesting choice. What kind of other stuff does he have? Can he do?
I think it's a tank class. It works like a turret, sort of like the other robot turret. I forget what his name is. I don't play a lot.
It's a Bastion.
Yeah, and this one's a hamster and a big hamster ball.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting enough, I guess, if you still play Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, it looks unique. I don't know that I would have. He's the hero no one's been asking for.
Yes. And he is the hero that every game's probably going to get next. Heroes to the Storm or seeing some other things down the line. That'd be fun.
That'd be interesting to see. Yeah.
They take risks with it, but it's just never. I mean, this one. I think people would like to see another cool like Reaper type character. Someone that looks cool and they can like show off a little bit. And they're putting out a hamster on it.
It's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard to cosplay that one.
Yeah. Oh no! They showed someone actually doing it. It was unique.
I bet. But the thing I like about Overwatch the most is that they release these heroes and it doesn't cost anything extra. It's just boom, they're in the game. You can play them off the bat.
Yeah, well, they don't, they still make quite a bit of money from their, loot box sales
stuff. Yeah.
So it's not like they're giving them out for free. It's to keep people playing.
But I just have to say, the loot box stuff, all cosmetic from,
Yeah.
So good on that. Good on that.
Yeah. But, so did you guys see that? You guys heard that there was a Anthem gameplay video about 20 minutes long that they showed off at E3?
Yeah, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
So they just put it out where you can actually watch. So I've got a link that I sent to you guys, and they took you through a mission called Scars and Villainy Mission, which included a raid on a stronghold. And I call it a raid. It was a 4-player mission that they ran through, and I kind of took down some notes as I was watching, and some of the stuff kind of cracked me up a little bit. One of the first things they talk about is that the javelins are handcrafted, and they're handed down generation to generation, but they all pretty much look the same. So I don't understand how handcrafted they are when they look like they're kind of off of an assembly line. The aesthetic is the same on pretty much all of them.
It's robot hands.
When they said handcrafted, they said from the technology that they have they don't know anything about. So it's kind of weird how they kind of put that story together. But I agree with you. It's kind of just funny.
Yeah, it just seems odd. I mean, maybe they were like souped up from like some kind of, maybe it used to be some kind of infrastructure, like heavy lifting suit or something.
Yeah,
and
they've customized
they retrofitted or something. That would all make sense, but it's kind of odd. So, getting past that though, they use the shadows and the verticality of their maps to greatly improve the playable area of the map. They're not. One thing I noticed is that as they were showing, is that these maps were not that large. You could kind of jump out of the plane and rocket down, similar to like Fortnite or even PUBG. And as you're flying around, you would go to these little areas, and you could end up going very vertical. Like you could go like hundreds of meters up or hundreds of meters down below the ground, in a kind of a vertical slice of the map, which is really cool because they don't have that much map to really work with. And the shadows really did a good job of, oh, look, do I go down that, that tunnel or that cave? So it was really neat to be able to show how you can still have a lot of area to play in without necessarily loading it all up, right as you're going through. So
there are individual instances of battles or, like they said, strongholds or areas. But they did say, I mean, this is a different interview with IGN people that actually had flown out to their hometown or whatever, and they showed them even more gameplay. But they said the map that you saw in the beginning of that video he says it's a very small sliver of what the actual game map is. So I was really impressed because that looked pretty large to begin with.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they went so far like in a straight line, but they definitely went from like a very high position to a very low position. In fact, they actually went underwater, which was really cool looking. So you can actually fly your javelin underwater. It had a nice water effects, and you can kind of rocket your way through. There was some loading screens when they're changing the areas, but I think that might be to Andrew's point there that they were loading up an instance, and it was probably just for that strike team going in. But I did notice it that
they actually said it was
loading.
Every single fire team every single team has a dedicated server. They actually stated that. Pretty crazy in my opinion, but it's nice to hear.
Yeah. And it makes sense because it's supposed to be somewhat desolate. They do use a lot of scripted events. That was one thing I noticed, where they had explosions going off at particular times, or you'd walk around a corner and all of a sudden something comes jumping out of the wall at you. So it'll be interesting to see how much of that they can do and still keep it fresh for the content, because I feel like you're going to be replaying these missions a lot. Just thinking about how Destiny is, you end up playing the same missions kind of over and over again, and they don't really change that much from one play to the next. And the scripted events might get really old because they look like they're neat, but the 50th time you see someone like jump and slam into like a a mine or something and blow it up, it's going to get a little old. One thing that I noticed, and Andrew, you can pipe in on this, is that they wanted to show how much they are not Destiny 2, and it was very important to them to kind of demonstrate that.
Yeah.
Meaning they showed the, how quickly and how fast the javelins move and how they're not slow, lumbering,
They use those
blobs.
words too. They're like, you're not traversing just on land, and they like kind of pointed at like you're traversing vertically and everywhere. So.
And I had to note that the very first drop was an epic gun, unlike the Mars reveal where the guy got a blue shader.
Oh yeah, it's true that you saw different colors. You saw a purple and even an orange there, so you kind of see that tier of drops. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took from it that the jetpacks are really well done. It reminded me a lot of Tribes. So if you guys have ever played Tribes, or just how fast you can go from one area to another, was really impressive. So I thought that was really cool. And they talked a little bit about loot and how you're going to get so much loot, and why it's important to get so much loot is that depending upon where you are, it may not be like, hey, I've got the best gun in the game. It'll be more about, this is the best gun for this scenario. So it might be, you've got like incendiary ammunition versus like acid based. I'm just going off of like Borderlands type of ammo, but you have to be able to have a complement of loadouts, somewhat similar to like Titanfall 2. Like Titanfall 2, you can switch out your loadouts and be more effective against certain types of mechs. So I think they're kind of carrying that over here.
The only thing that I like not being able to. This is the one loadout I use for everything. I like having the multiple loadouts, but as long as it doesn't become, I have 100 different loadouts, because each one of these hundreds are best in each different type of scenario. Like, it's okay if there's maybe 3 or 4, maybe even 5 loadouts that are good to swap between. But when you got like one for literally every fight, that's when it kind of gets tedious.
Yes. And I guess we'll have to see, because it's they did show like some different things. There was people fighting with flamethrowers. There was people that used like guided missiles. Obviously tons of machine guns and whatnot. So
did you see the combos as well?
Yeah, the combos was a neat thing. That's like Bloodstorm.
Combo.
Yeah, you combo between someone stunning them, and then you grenade them, and then that's actually adds on to the damage. It's really cool.
That was in Bulletstorm.
Yeah, they set up they set the boss on fire, and then they started hitting with missiles, and it was like combo, and like did like extra damage. So that's kind of neat. There was another game that did that really well.
Don't they?
Probably. I was gonna say Final Fantasy 11 did that too, where you could chain together different attacks, and if you pulled it off the sequence right, then you would get these like super attacks that would end up coming out of him.
Combo.
Yep.
A lot of other things I noticed. The jetpacks, like you said, if you fly through, so there is an overheating meter. So it's not that I have fuel. You have overheat. But if you dive, right, you'll cool down your heat, I guess your heat bar. And then also if you fly through a waterfall, you'll also reduce that as well. So some things, a little attention to detail. I thought that was really cool. A lot of the good things as well that I heard from a different video is that these they're trying to split between the open world where everyone is, and everyone has the same world, by the way, so it's not going to be a different world for everyone. Is that storm over there is the same storm that everyone else is going to see, and that's what they said, where like tomorrow that same person could have done something different, completely different in that storm. But when you go into a hub or your Strider, which is your mobile hub, that's when story happens. That's when your choices happen, which I thought was really cool, because considering your Destinies, if you say not very good at story, I would like to see the BioWare story. You walk into a hub, story happens. I get to make choices, things happen, and that's my gameplay. That's my experience. Then I can go outside, see the differences between like loading up or someone. They said contracts as well. It's like if you're going into an event, you can send out a contract. Someone can just jump right into your space using matchmaking, using your friends, and of course they said guilds. They said the word guilds, which means there's going to be a guild system, which means that we as PixelPub are going to be there 100%. And we actually created a a space for Anthem just for that hype, because a lot of people saw that, a lot of people were interested. If we were going to create something, and we are, 100% we can say we will be there. It's very exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited
Nice.
for this game.
Yeah, and it is a BioWare game, so at some point in time you'll be able to take that guildmate and lay him down for some javelin on javelin love session.
Love me.
They
I
said
really hope-
there's
no
none of
romance
that.
right now.
Yeah.
But I really hope that maybe the pitfalls that came upon Mass Effect Andromeda, I'm hoping it was because they had so much attention being drawn to Anthem. That's what I hope.
Could be.
I'm sorry. I'm just for some reason had two javelins in my head. Just I don't. Whatever Rob said.
Oh no.
Oh no. All right.
Yeah, join up today.
Join
Yeah,
today.
But I hope Anthem gets the kind of attention that Dragon Age Origins got and the first 3 Mass Effects got.
I agree.
It's got the attention. I just hope it's good.
Yeah. Good stuff. I'm excited. Get the hype train rolling. It's only many months away. But yeah, so I could tease you guys a little bit earlier. I'm gonna give you a little bit of review for that Donkey Kong Adventure DLC.
We all played Rabbids, right?
Yeah.
I'm really excited to hear
Yeah.
what you have
fun.
here.
Yeah, tell us
So
us more.
so I think it's standalone, which is what I bought it because I didn't want to buy the season pass because I really wasn't interested in the I think the other DLC right now is like a challenge modes or something, and I haven't really been into that. So I bought it standalone, which I think it's $15, $14.99, which seems kind of steep for a DLC, but Mario Rabbids is good, so I went into it and tried it out. It's great. This is a great DLC, and I personally think it's worth the $14.99, at least standalone. If you have the season pass, even better. I've put in 4 to 5, and probably after today 6 hours into it, and I'm still not done yet.
Oh wow,
okay.
that's a big DLC.
Yeah. It doesn't, like I've talked before, it doesn't
because of the-
continue off your save.
Is it because there's so much more content, or is it just more challenge?
More content. It's definitely, I haven't really got into a challenge. The only thing that's really been challenging to me is some of the puzzles. I'm a big fan of the open world puzzles, like pushing the blocks around and stuff. I enjoy doing all that. And some of them, I could sit there for like 10 to 15 minutes, like, what am I screwing up? How can I figure this out?
Sure.
And but yeah, it's really fun. It doesn't play off your save, so it doesn't matter how far in the game or if you ever finished it. You can start it off fresh. It's sort of like the Last of Us DLC that came out. It's like a little standalone section chapter.
So you play as Donkey Kong?
So your team comp is Donkey Kong, Rabbid Cranky Kong, and Rabbid Peach.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's some story stuff that goes on to why it's those 3 specifically. And I think that the biggest downfall of the DLC is that unlike the base game where you can change characters out, you're locked to those 3 characters.
Oh man, I would have said for sure Diddy Kong was going to be one of your people.
Unless he makes a surprise towards the end, he's not in it so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Something's wrong. It must be defective.
Must be defective. I need to return it. But it's a lot of fun. There's they've added, because it's its own thing. There's a lot of new content, a lot of puzzles to do. It's got its own like little mini base hub thing that I haven't quite explored all. There's like puzzle pieces to find. You collect bananas instead of coins, of course, because you're Donkey Kong. And Donkey Kong, I really wish he was in the base game because he is my favorite character by far. He has one of the most unique movesets, and he's a lot of fun to play with. His main weapon's a banana, so he throws a banana. It's like a boomerang. It hits multiple enemies and comes back towards you. He slaps the ground and does AOE damage around him. He's got his abilities is the I don't know, in XCOM it was like the where you get in cover and if somebody moves you shoot at them. He's got that, and
Overwatch.
Overwatch, and he's got a drum move where he brings out his bongos, slaps the bongos, and enemies come close to him. So that's a good combo with the ground slap to do a lot of AOE damage. And yeah, he's fun. I really wish he's in the base game. He's got special ledges where he can swing from ledge to ledge. It's cool.
Nice.
He can pick people up. You can go to people, pick them up, and throw them. So you can do that to you can do it to your own characters to kind of advance your character further along the map and maybe get a different advantage, or
That's a great idea.
take an enemy, throw another enemy to another enemy, knock them around. So Donkey Kong's cool. He's a lot of fun. The story stuff is kind of, it doesn't really come off the end of the game, so it's not a continuation. It's kind of like midway through the game side story that happens while Mario's doing his stuff. But it's cool. I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff, even though there's probably not a lot of spoilers in this type of game. But it's fun. It really makes me really want to play a sequel sooner rather than later. Because I love this game. Fun game. And in terms of DLC, I'm rating this purely as a DLC, it's 8 out of 10.
Nice. Very cool.
And if I could probably had more characters to choose from and different environments, I might have said 8 out of I give it a higher rating than 8 out of 10.
Cool.
But, yeah.
Now you've got to join with Andrew and I and play Battle Chasers.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
They're on the
Battle
Switch
Chasers.
now, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun one.
It's a classic RPG. I don't know much more to say. It has a good story.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of customizability. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you can customize a lot of stuff. It's based on an old comic series. Battle Chasers was written and drawn by Joe Madeira, and he's got a very unique art style that's kind of almost like Overwatch in a lot of ways. Like I would put it like that kind of art style, where it's not realistic, but at the same time it's got like realistic elements to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, just classic. And I think the overkill portion where you kind of plan out like how much damage you're going to do to someone based upon how much they've hit you is kind of an interesting mechanic.
They have a burst mechanic. They have gear. They have like dungeon play where you have to make choices, and those choices could really affect your party.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff. It's a really
Is
good
it
title.
what's the price tag on that?
I got it
It's on
cheap.
sale.
Yeah, I got it for like $20.
Sale on the Switch?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
not download. I had the physical copy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say I think it's $10 on Steam right now. But if you want to get on Switch, they could take it on the go. I think it's around 20.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
For your Mario Rabbids, I totally agree, and I really want a Mario Rabbids too. I'm just glad that this game exists. Like it was a surprise 2 years ago, right?
I really thought this game was going to be really bad just off the base of the title.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they started showing gameplay, I'm like, this game is going to be fun.
And so
for
those people that haven't played it, it's a great title for the Switch. Fantastic title.
I think it'll probably be one of the cornerstones of Switch, hopefully. And those games are like, oh yeah, Mario Rabbids is a great Switch game.
Mm-hmm.
So more reviews this week, and there's a lot of different stuff that came out. Nier Automata for Become as the Gods edition for the Xbox. They had to rename it for the Xbox. It got a 91 as a Metacritic score, and the users give it 8.6. And that's just coming off of Nier Automata itself, because that's just a great game in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
Looks really weird. I've never really watched it, but it's kind of
Definitely weird. Definitely weird. The main creator wears like a mask the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he never shows his face.
She.
She.
It's
I didn't know.
It's a futuristic, post-apocalyptic androids battling other mechs sort of deal with fantastic action RPG and fantastic soundtrack. Like the soundtrack's been rave reviewed. So if you're on Xbox, congratulations, you have Nier. You can get it now.
Good for you guys.
The Crew 2. What are you guys' thoughts on The Crew 2?
The Crew 2, I watched Lyric play it for a little while, and it didn't look terrible, but it looked like they were just trying to do too much. So I would say this is probably sitting in that 6 to 7 range.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly where it's sitting out. It's 69 at the moment for Metacritic or Metascore, and then the user score is 5.8 actually. So it seems maybe the online play is not good because that's what people are looking forward to.
There is no online play yet.
Okay, well then that would probably be the reason why.
Yeah, it's not coming out till December, so yeah, you can't play online with anyone else. But you can do so much. Like it's got like boat racing and plane racing and motorcycle racing and.
But it's the crew.
Rally
You're supposed
racing.
to have a crew.
Yes.
Oh, so this game didn't launch with multiplayer?
Yeah, it did not launch with multiplayer.
That wasn't the whole premise of the
That's
first
the whole
one.
premise.
That
Yeah.
it's a racing MMO.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a very odd choice.
Yeah, it's not so much MMO though, because it's not like a shared world. It's like you
wasn't
get
the
a
first
map
one?
in the US,
Yeah,
and
sure.
then you kind of drop in and out. There's no loading screens. I thought that was interesting. Like when you pick an area, like you can zoom right back out and go to another one. There's no loading screen. You just drop straight into the car right there.
I guess so. We put it this way: like it's released now, but it still is a game as a service. It will still become possibly that multiplayer MMO car experience that you want.
Yeah, I never played the Crew one, so I couldn't tell you. Like I had no expectations for this one.
I played a little bit of the Crew one, and I was sorely disappointed. So, what is next is the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy
for Switch.
The Switch was released for the Switch.
Been out.
Yeah, it's been out for a year now on other platforms.
For the Switch, and I got a 77. 8.3.
Yeah, that's probably pretty fair. I mean, it's 20-year-old gameplay.
Yeah.
Remastered. And then Wolfenstein, like you said, Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus on the Switch. 78 Metacritic.
Which isn't bad because it's got some technical limitations, so it's not as grand as you would play on the Xbox.
Even play, period.
Yeah.
I agree. Same with Doom,
agree.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, Doom looks great though on the Switch.
And then Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered. Remastered, guys.
The remake no one wanted.
It's the remastered.
Well, there really is only 4 critic reviews, and it's 78.
Yeah.
So
if people love Red Faction back when, I knew that.
It's a very bland week.
I played it when it launched, and it was underwhelming.
Well, those are your game scores of
the week. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't a great game. Well, thank you. It's always good to get the other perspectives and talk about some of the ones, like, because, I wouldn't have sat and played any of those outside, because, Nier Automata I already have on Steam, and, Red Faction, it was just kind of one of those things, like, I'm like, who did they re-release this for? Like, who was clamoring? Like, we must have Red Faction Guerrilla again.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I could understand Red Faction, because that had a cool, it had this environmental destruction capability where you could burrow your way through rocks and stuff. And on the Xbox, it had pretty interesting physics surrounding that. Like you could rocket your way through rocks and get into an area where you could fight the bad guys. So it was interesting, and that's probably the one that needs to be remastered. I feel like this is just a cash grab.
Yeah.
Maybe people had fond memories,
but people will remember that name though. Remastered.
So
that's for sure.
I've already forgotten it.
And it's gone. But moving on to some movie stuff. Some things we'll probably want to forget here in the future. But Idris Elba is going to be playing the villain in Dwayne Johnson's Fast and Furious spinoff that is apparently happening still.
Idris Elba is so good. I'm glad he's making money, because I know he's not doing this for anything else.
He's in everything, man. It's crazy.
He's in everything, but he's never the star. he was great as I'm gonna mess up his name in Thor. Heimdall.
Yeah.
He was awesome in Thor, and even even in Ragnarok, he wasn't given a huge role. He has
very limited screen time in those, yeah.
But every time he does is really good.
Good. He's good. He's a great actor.
He's great in Finding Dory. He was fantastic in Pacific Rim.
Yeah. He was awesome. Right. He was so good he didn't come back.
Yeah. No one wants to remember Dark Tower, I guess.
I haven't seen it yet.
I almost watched it just for him, but the reviews were so bad. I was just like, there's no way I'm going to go. It's still on my list of rainy day movies to watch. Yeah. He was a good part of the Prometheus too. A lot of people don't like Prometheus, but
I like Prometheus.
He's a good part of it.
I like Prometheus a lot. Yeah.
I don't like it a lot, but I liked it. Yeah, but I don't know what you can do with the spinoff. Maybe they're gonna split off the whole maybe crime stuff on this Dwayne Johnson side.
They don't steal DVD players anymore.
Right, I know.
If you remember, that was how they started out.
That's how they started
stealing
off.
Truckloads of DVD players.
Now it's crime lords and oh man, I really need to go back through and watch how the series has evolved. But I'm not. We'll see. And speaking of other movies, I'm really surprised to see Jim Carrey is going to play Dr. Robotnik in the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
I hope it's based on Sonic Adventure. Because they
You
had
mean,
real
like-
people walking around.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, the Dreamcast one.
Yeah, Dreamcast one. Yep.
Yep. Because that was awesome. Like he was running around fighting that water monster
Just
on
give
the
me,
first
just
level.
Give me Big the Cat, and I'm good.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they do with the live action Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Robotnik's not funny though. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he takes the character. I guess he took the character for the Grinch pretty good, so I can see maybe transitioning to Dr. Robotnik. I don't know. Dr. Robotnik doesn't really talk much either, right? As far as I know.
No. He just steals animals.
Yeah.
Steals animals and Chaos Emeralds and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Oh no, Jim Carrey's a good actor. He's been in a lot of really good stuff. So it'd be interesting to see, someone of his caliber. I'm just curious, how do you have a live action person playing Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah.
The only person
Hopefully-
that could do it would be Ninja, because he's
Hopefully
already.
they use a
airport.
real hedgehog and just paint it blue. And
You think?
Oh. So a meme. So the whole movie's gonna be a meme. I get.
whole movie to be.
I wonder if it's got to be like a CGI hedgehog, and he's just running around. He's like radical, high fiving everyone.
I hope Jim Carrey grows out an actual mustache to imitate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I hope it's not fake.
He's doing this for a paycheck, so
definitely.
so this is going to be minimal in terms of body modifications
Yeah.
to suit the role. If you told me he gained like 100 pounds to play like that kind of, like authentically, like no, Jim Carrey's not going to do that.
Oh man. So I want to talk about something that's probably equally as disappointing, and that was Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, I thought you were saying Destiny 2.
Ugh.
Well, we're at
already
movies.
got
We're
that
at
jab.
movies now,
We already
Rob.
got our jab
Come
out.
on.
But yeah. So when this trailer came out, I think we talked about it on here, and I did not have a lot of optimism for it when the trailer came out. But
Well,
I say
why is
judgment.
that? Is it because he outran a lava flow?
Is it because there was Fight Club of dinosaurs?
So
Is that why?
this movie is very, very.
Is it because the last one wasn't that good?
I'll give you this. The last one was not good, but at least interesting enough to. I would probably rate the last one a 6 or 7 out of 10, just because it's.
It ended the
interesting.
same way as the first one. T-Rex comes out of nowhere,
Yeah.
fights him, saves the day.
And spoiler alert for those who are wanting not to be spoiled on this movie. It happens again.
The same thing that they
That's
did.
it.
The same T-Rex
Oh my god.
comes out and does the signature T-Rex move. I mean, he doesn't really quote unquote save the day, but he does eat a bad person and then roar, and then the movie kind of goes off.
I hope it's Jeff Goldblum.
It's not.
Well, I have to watch it now. You know.
For those looking for Jeff Goldblum, he's in it for maybe a total of
Oh, don't tell me that.
2 minutes.
Oh,
Basically, what they
maybe.
showed in the trailer is what you're
Yes.
saying. Okay.
Yes. He plays no plot points whatsoever. He's literally just a face to be like, oh, hey, look, there he is. And then they show him again at the end. And you're like, oh, I forgot he was in this movie.
How many Verizon ads did they have in there, though?
What's that?
Count them.
Because there was a lot of Verizon ads in the first one. Like, they were like,
Oh,
quickly run to the Verizon pillar and take shelter from the pterodactyls.
Hang on, let me draw. I want the.
We're losing.
cut this
We're
part
just
out.
bashing this. What else is there? About
Hang
this
on,
movie?
I'm gonna have to drop the call because I'm dropping out a little bit. I'm losing you guys. Hang on. Yeah.
Oh, no.
We can read his notes here. You can see Rob's eyes now.
Yeah.
He's just peering into everyone's souls right now.
Yes.
Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. So what we have here in the notes, it says the movie is doing very well at the box office because dinosaurs. I'm sure.
Yeah.
The movie.
I like Chris Pratt, but I didn't like him in the last one. It just wasn't a good movie. So I don't know why they're making this a big deal.
All right, maybe
He's
that's better.
back.
Anyway,
Hey,
let me continue to bash on this movie.
good thing you moved out on your own and got good internet for yourself.
Yeah, yay. So yeah, this movie is not a good movie, whatsoever. I have to say the beginning of the movie kind of starts off like it's going to be interesting, But they quickly show you that it's not going to be interesting at all, and they quickly change your mind. The story is incredibly shallow. The settings are very lackluster. You don't see anything. Nothing impactful goes on, and it copies so much of the plot points that happen in the other movies. You're like, I've seen this movie like a million times already. It's not anything new.
Wow.
The only saving grace, I think, is Chris Pratt, and I think it's because Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt in this movie. So, yeah, I mean, there's not anything. I don't think there's not a character Chris Pratt couldn't pull off as Chris Pratt.
Sure. So 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Story wise, the biggest thing that probably grabbed me from the beginning is that it takes place 3 years after the first, but when they return to the park, it looks like it's been 50 years. And I'm kind of like, this is a...
The CGI people didn't do their due diligence, right?
This park is in quite disarray, and it's only been 3 years.
Because they broke out. It was ravaged by dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
So, I'll give it 3 years. Yeah, that could be pretty bad.
But I think that when the Jurassic World came out, they did not have any other movies planned, and when it blew up like it did, they're like, let's make another one right now, and they put no thought into it, and it was just a crash grab.
He was supposed to be your episode 9 director, so dodged a bullet.
Dodged a bullet for sure.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Oh my god!
So is this going to be on track for the next Transformers? Just make a quick buck, but
I'm hoping that the next one they do is better because hopefully they take more time, but I don't hold any optimism for it. But we'll see. We'll see. 5 out of 10. And that's being generous because Chris Pratt's in it.
You thought Solo was bad? Okay, we're getting a little bit of chat here. He's like, how do you compare this movie to the Solo movie?
Oh, I love Solo.
Rob chimed in with So Lower. It was really good. I had thumbs up that one. And then he says, I thought Solo was pretty bad. It's hard to imagine. I thought the Solo was good. I like Solo.
If you went into Solo with high expectations, then that's on you.
Yeah.
It really... I went in there with like the lowest... Like the only reason I went in there is because there was a tropical storm coming and it was raining really hard. I'm like, well, we can go in and get out of the rain. I'll go watch a movie. And it ended up being fun.
Enjoyable.
I'm not going to say it's great, but yeah, enjoyable. I didn't hate it.
This movie's kind of the opposite. I mean, you're kind of like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, tell us about a good movie.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about this, I think, last week because I watched it a couple weeks ago. But The Incredibles 2, surprisingly, you wouldn't think that, I would like that movie better. But yeah, Incredibles 2 is a really fun movie. Even if it's a quote unquote kids movie, there's a lot of adult and like superhero lover stuff. You can pick things out that you can enjoy from this movie.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big things probably kids won't pick up on is like what it really means to be superhero in the like real life. Like what is a superhero outside of the big superhero events. So that's really cool to see. And it's like what if superheroes lived in this world? It wouldn't be like what we see in comic books or anything like that. So it takes a more realistic approach to things. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's really funny because when that first one came out, a lot of people said, okay, it's a great Fantastic Four movie because it's got basically gender switched and like role reversed, but it's basically all the Fantastic Four. Mm-hmm. But even more so, it has the same plot line as Watchmen, which is where the government outlaws superheroes and won't let people go out and be vigilantes. So it was really interesting that it cribbed so much from there. And two very popular series. I mean, Watchmen is considered probably the best written comic of all time, just overall. And Fantastic Four, obviously, very. The Incredibles was big before superheroes were big. The only thing out around that time was like, not even X-Men was out at that time.
Was it not?
I don't think so.
I thought the X-Men
it was pretty close.
It's like maybe X-Men, 1 or 2.
X-Men was like 99.
Mm-hmm. Incredibles was like a little like 2000.
2004. Okay, so yeah, I
think we had
leveraged
some
the power of Google to figure that
I
out.
think we had some Spider-Man. I think we had like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and
Yeah, you would have had Spider-Man, but yeah, I mean, but still, it wasn't great.
it's not the
You know,
genre it is now. Yeah,
wasn't like it is now. Yeah, so now it makes a ton of sense to put this movie out.
yeah, but yeah, this you know, a lot of animated movies kind of stick to the same kind of plot or kind of, you know, trumps of the first one. I think this one kind of can stand on its own. You could probably just watch this one on its own and feel like you've seen a good superhero movie. Have you guys seen it?
No, not yet.
No, I want to see it with maybe my daughter. She's 4. I think she enjoyed it, but we'll see.
I'm about to go
This
back and do so
weekend
much
I'll be
editing on
taking
this.
in. Yeah, I'll be taking in Ant-Man and the Wasp this weekend, and Incredibles 2. So, and skipping Jurassic Park. Thanks for saving me the
Skip that.
the $8 or whatever they'll charge me for the matinee show.
Skip that. Yeah.
Yep.
It's doing really well in the box office. It's really popular, especially like so many shows have sold out around here, but it's not good. It's not good. But Incredibles 2 is good. And I'll say Incredibles 2 is an 8 out of 10.
Nice.
8 out of 10. Nice.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, and now it's time to jump right into comics and talk to Rob for a bit.
Sure. Yeah, got kind of a big one I'm going to talk about, but we did have a question in chat. The question is who is the best superhero in existence, and why is it Thanos? And I would say you're right. It is Batman. That he is by far the best superhero. So good job there.
Great question statement.
Yeah, great question. Great question. Love it. Keep more of those coming. So I'm going to talk about Batman, y'all.
Yeah, talk about Batman.
I'm going to talk about Batman 50. And for anyone that knows about comic books and hasn't read Batman 50 yet, this is your spoiler warning. So go ahead and turn it off, move on. Now. Because this is about Batman and Catwoman getting married, which is huge news in the DC universe.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people weren't so sure if Batman was the marrying kind. He had Robin living with him for all those years, so, wasn't quite clear where his interests were. But they do a very unique approach to a giant-sized issue here. So 45 pages, that's double your typical issue size. And there are some pages that have panels, but most of them are full-page art by guest artists and longtime creators. Like some of the most famous longtime creators. I put Becky Cloonan because she's got my favorite picture out of all these. But Jim Lee, obviously he's super famous. Frank Miller came back to do a page for them. Tony Daniel, Andy Kubert, Tim Sale, Neil Adams, Amanda Connor, and the list just goes on and on. They probably had about 20 full-page, just art. Like you could frame this and hang it on a wall. Like it's just so nice. And it was just page after page of this stuff. So they had a lot of nods to the creators. And they brought up a lot of the, they said like Kane Plaza or Finger Tower or O'Neill Street. So those are people that kind of helped Batman get to where he is nowadays. And the reason why that's really important is because the spoilerific part is they didn't get married. They were going to get married, and they didn't. So as the story is going on, they're talking about each other. They're talking about how they met, how they fell in love, how they can't wait to spend the rest of their lives together. And then about the halfway point, it changes to, well, what's going to happen once we spend the rest of our lives together? And, the Catwoman's like, Batman deserves to be happy, but if he's happy, then he's not Batman anymore. And all the good things that Batman does, he won't be able to do because he'll be distracted. Who knows, like if Phil Slip and the Joker gets through and, there's all these hypotheticals and everything that she had to answer for, and she just couldn't bring herself to do it. And he was, much the same way where, he didn't, she's a thief. She's not a good guy. She's not a hero, even though she pretends to be one from time to time. Mm-hmm. And this was really just kind of a huge character deconstruction on both sides. And ultimately it meant nothing. at the end of the day, because it was really kind of a reset. You know, Batman got his feelings hurt, and he's feeling neglected again. She's back to living her life of crime, and it's basically a reset of where they were, years and years ago, where Batman's the brooding, loner, and Catwoman is, the cat thief. So it's really beautiful in terms of the art style, though, and I would encourage everyone to go and, if you got some interest in this, look past the fact that they didn't get married, and that whole storyline's been spoiled even before it came out. But you got to take it just for like all the contributions of all these artists coming together and making this series or making this issue available. So you can buy it for $4.99 at your friendly local comic store or Comixology or wherever else you buy your comics. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10, mainly because I think it's such a great character deconstruction, and the art style is just I can't say enough about it. When you've got like original Frank Miller pieces and Tim Sale drawing these beautiful full page renditions of Batman and Catwoman, they're almost always like in an embrace on like every page that they show this. So whether that's Batman trying to like capture her from running away with like diamonds, or if it's them like actually like holding each other on a rooftop, it's all these like different scenes and just really really nice vistas that they're showing. So
that's really interesting. And they covered that sort of in the cartoon back when, right? That they were kind of getting close, but then they got far away. But they never got married, I guess. That's what I remember back when.
Yeah,
and so
this one starts off with just Batman says, "Let's get married tomorrow," and she goes, "Okay," and then it goes from there. He goes and wears his father's suit. She goes and steals a dress. So it's like they're doing their heroic things that they normally do, and it's exactly what you'd expect. And at the end, they realize, well, we can't really be together because it's not. This isn't going to work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man.
So.
There's so much crap going on my end. Like,
no, you're here. We got you.
I know, but you guys turned into total robots at the end of that.
Well, 20 questions is gonna be fantastic then.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
This is awful.
Because it's my turn.
I'm about to go record stuff on Twitch, and oh man,
you are recording though, at least, right?
Yeah, it's going to sound great in robotics, but I have to go back, get your version of the Twitch, lay it on top of this crappy sounding. Oh man, this is gonna be. Anyway, let's play
20 questions.
Let's get out of here.
That means chat. We're looking at you. All right, I got a game. Hit me.
I had a close check. I don't know if that's causing me to lag or not, but so someone else pick up chat duty.
Sure,
I got chat.
Yep, I can do it.
Yep.
I can do it. So
all right, so this week it is Injur's turn.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Go.
I guess we'll start off like we always start off, and maybe find the date.
Well, or which color Pokemon it is.
It could be which color Pokemon.
You never know. Hey, go ahead and take it, Brandon.
Is this
where you want to start?
Is this a pre-2005 game?
Pre-2005 game, yes.
Okay.
Is it a post-1995 game?
It is not a post-1995 game.
Okay, so going old school.
Oh.
What we do here is go back.
I said it's not post. So it's between.
No, that's not true.
I said it's not. Oh, it's post. I'm sorry. It is post 1995. I'm sorry.
Okay. So it is between 95 and 05.
Yes, it is. It is. I know what post means.
Do we split the difference there?
Might as well. Yeah.
So is it after 2000?
It is not after 2000.
Okay.
You sure?
95.
Yes, I'm sure.
It's not after 2000.
Sure. I'm sure.
All right.
He didn't use posts or anything like, so he confused me. So I got it. That's
right.
Okay,
so are we looking at a console exclusive, or I should say exclusive to a platform?
It is not exclusive to a platform.
Okay. Got a multi-platform game here.
So what are we thinking? So 95 to 2000, 5 year
Oh, there's
period.
so many.
Yeah. What's our big consoles in that period?
PlayStation. You got Dreamcast shows up in that time frame.
64.
Yeah, so is it on a Nintendo console?
It is on a Nintendo console, yes.
Okay, so it's not a. I would say it's probably not a big Nintendo game since it's multi-platform.
Well, I mean, so we know it's on Nintendo. That really narrows it down in terms of which multiplayer games showed up on there. So was it on Nintendo 64?
Oh, did we determine it's multiplayer?
Did we say multiplayer?
Oh, no, multi-console. Multi-console.
Yeah,
Oh,
multi-console. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a question from chat. Is it a multiplayer game? And I say no, it is not a multiplayer game. And for your question regarding, was it on? You said was it a question N64 or did you?
Yeah. Was the game released on Nintendo 64?
It was released on Nintendo 64. Yes.
Okay. So multi-platform on Nintendo 64. You know how rare that is?
Yeah,
It's pretty rare.
we had what, StarCraft?
StarCraft was on there. Yes.
What else?
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was very interesting because there's not a lot of games that were released on 64 and other on other platforms.
Yeah, I think that's why I asked for Nintendo 64 because that really narrows it down.
So
I want to know if it was also on PC. So I think that's important to know.
Yeah,
so was it also released on PC?
It was released on PC.
Okay.
It's starting to sound a lot like StarCraft.
It's starting to sound a lot like StarCraft. Was it produced by Blizzard?
It was not produced by Blizzard.
All right, so that's not StarCraft.
Nope.
And that's using a technicality where maybe StarCraft 64 wasn't produced by Blizzard.
Now I gotta look that up. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yep. So for chat, yes, it's a multi-platform game. That is, hopefully you've heard that now. It is not Nintendo exclusive. It was released on PC as well. And it could be GoldenEye. So when we say on multi-platforms, is it a re-release that's on the other platforms?
Yes, it was a re-release. Meaning, like, it did not release at the same time as the original release for the game.
Okay. So there, that opens up quite a bit.
10 questions. So you have more.
Yeah, you got stuff like Conker's Bad Fur Day. You got
pretty much
because that
all
was
those
re-released
rare
on
games.
Xbox and
Yeah, all those rare titles. A lot of those re-released on Xbox.
well, let's ask if it was a rare title. So was it a rare title?
It's not rare.
Let's see on Nintendo 64. It was re-released and count on PC, so that's going to take you out of any of the like the Mario's or the Zeldas or anything like that.
Man.
If I give any hint, I would stop focusing on this and start focusing on genre.
Okay.
Is it an RPG?
That's a good question. It is not an RPG. Not categorized in RPG.
Do you play in a first person perspective?
You do not play in a first person perspective.
Is it a side scroller?
It is not a side scroller.
So probably 3D action or third person action.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So is it a third person action game?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that
And it
game
was
where you
re-released.
was that
Go
game
ahead.
where you played as a worm? Like
Earthworm
space-
Jim?
Was that exclusive?
I don't know if it was released elsewhere. It wasn't very good. The 3D one, the 2D one was awesome, but not the 3D. But on Nintendo 64, we got an action RPG. It could be like Castlevania. I do like that from chat.
I didn't say the RPG. It's like action
Or
adventure.
action,
third person.
action adventure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So third person action game, which
Wasn't all the
Castlevania
Castlevania
certainly
was
fits in
very-
there.
Castlevania. Was it Castlevania on the 64?
Mhm.
A game like that.
Yeah. Resident Evil also came out on those.
Did it? Did Resident Evil come out on?
Yeah,
PS4?
Resident Evil 2 came out on Nintendo 64.
That might be it. That's very topical, Avenger, because they did announce the remake.
Oh, did they?
They did. At E3, we talked about it a little bit.
So, was it produced by Capcom?
Yes.
Is the first word resident?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, let's burn that question. What kind
But
of
it's
game?
by Capcom.
Yeah, that helps.
It is by Capcom. You have 17 questions.
You got Mega Man in there. You got Bionic Commando? No, I don't think that was on there. On Capcom. F-Zero? But that was
Was F-Zero Capcom?
Nah. Well,
No, I don't think so.
Captain Falcon was Capcom, right?
I don't think so. I'm gonna look that up.
I don't think. Was it a
Come on,
fighting?
Brandon.
One of the fighting games, maybe that Capcom made?
It's not fighting because it's a third-person
Oh, that's true.
action.
That's true.
Yeah, third-person action.
F-Zero was
Capcom.
by Nintendo. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Third-person action by
I don't really think
Capcom.
of any Capcom third person.
Yeah, I'm kind of struggling.
Besides
here.
Resident Evil.
All right. Is it like a realistic game?
Not realistic. Nope.
Okay, so we're dealing with a cartoony.
Stylized.
Yeah,
18
stylized.
questions. You got one question to guess?
All right, at least we're moving on. At least we're moving quick. I can at least give myself that. Come on, Brandon.
I don't know, man. I'm stumped. That was a good question. Maybe that might help us out. I don't know. Would if finding out if it was maybe a shooter or a medieval sword swinging type of game might help out any?
You don't think it's a game made by Capcom? I'm looking at it right now, sir. And I know I played this game a ton. I love this game.
By Capcom. Oh man.
I actually didn't know it was released in any of these platforms. By the way, I was legit thought it was exclusive, but now I know it's not.
Was there any like third person like Mega Man games or anything like that?
That was like Battle Network or something, but I thought it was on PlayStation.
Huh.
I know we gotta be a little more judicious with our guesses here because we have so few of them. But a Capcom third-person action.
Do we need to ask if it's a shooter? Would that help any?
Sure.
Yeah. Is there like a weapon that you shoot?
Yes. A weapon.
That
A
doesn't-
single weapon.
Okay, so this sounds like it's probably not a traditional shooter.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
You guys are so
Something that
close.
you-
So close. You said it already, honestly. At least the title.
Is it Mega Man?
Yeah, but what?
Oh my god, are you kidding me? I don't know what Mega Man is.
No,
Came out for
it's
that one.
Mega Man Legends,
Mega Man
my dude.
64? Mega Man Legends?
Mega Man Legends, my dude. Come on, it's so good. That
All right,
game's
Let's
amazing.
go to the Wayback Machine and look at this.
I played it on the I played it on the PlayStation. I didn't know it was released on the 64. I didn't know it was released on Windows or PlayStation Portable. No, this game was fantastic. This is where Tron or what's her
What is this?
the
Nightmare
Voles
Fuel?
came in, and those little Lego men people came from. All all that stuff came from that Tron. Yeah, Tron Bonne and all that stuff. They all came from this series of Mega Man.
It looks terrible.
This is an amazing game. If I had plugged this game.
They made a Mega Man Legends 3 and it's on PS4?
I played 1 and 2. I didn't play 3 because I don't know. I didn't think 2 was that great. But Mega Man Legends 1, I played that like maybe 3 or 4 times. Fantastic action shooter. Third person.
Yeah, I skipped over this one.
Yeah, I mean, same.
Well,
It
everyone,
looks kind of cool. Looks like an anime.
you can watch. There is a speed run of it that I think GDQ, not this year, but it was some other year. You can watch that, get the full gist of it. I thought it was great. So that's my Wayback Machine title for the year.
Nice. Well, good. I'm glad that you.
I'm good. We got you're like good. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Never come back again.
I remember seeing that cover in like GameStop and just passing right over it.
Passing right over that.
Just constantly saying, no, I'm not going to buy it.
Interesting. Well,
All right.
But hey, if you say it's good,
thought it was
that's good.
great.
That someone got enjoyment out of it.
good stuff. So I guess it's that time to do some endorsing and some plugs, and let's get out of here.
I see a shirt that you have on, Brandon. I want to plug that shirt. That's a nice PixelPub shirt.
Yeah.
Did you wash it?
This is actually, I don't think it hasn't been washed since last week. I haven't worn it since last week either. So.
So where can you find those PixelPub shirts?
That's a good question.
In Brandon's house.
If you do come to my house,
I guess I'll start my plug.
One shirt.
I'll start my plug. PixelPubGaming.com is where you can find a lot of information regarding our community. You can find a lot of information about our podcast, of course. You can listen to the latest podcast on the front page. And I think we're working on an archive, right, Rob, of all of the podcasts previous. And then, of course, we are on iTunes. We're on Pocket Casts, that sort of thing. So please hit it, like it, share. We really appreciate that. And we are live on Twitch, on all the platforms, really. So we can follow us then. Today is Thursday, but since yesterday was Independence Day, we took a little
American
break
Day.
there. But usually it's on Wednesdays, around 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard. Some other plugs we want to push to is our Destiny clan's still growing. It's still really going strong. And then until Forsaken. Forsaken's probably going to explode. We're still looking for leaders and clan leaders. We have our ARC servers, of course. We have World of Warcraft Guild, the Bad Mama Jammas. And it is that expansion is coming quick. So get in there, get in our community, and start leveling up, start getting your mage tower done and all that stuff. We have a lot of experienced people that'll help you out. So all of that you can get in our Discord. The invite's really simple now because we're partnered. It is discord.gg/pixelpub. That's your invite to anyone and everyone. You can get on the server, talk with us. Sound good?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd like to throw a thank you to Simpatico Squirrel for coming and hanging out tonight in the chat channel. He kept it lively, asked a lot of questions. So, thank you so much for coming by and spending the evening with us.
Thanks, Simp.
We always
Love
glad
it,
to
man.
have people out
In
there live.
Anthem with BioWare Gaming.
All right, everybody.
Yeah. See you guys.